for record keeping.
Sure.
Enti atufo senka said the Hansard will record me today no. What he was seeking to do ni say asembia obeka no sada no na sam prempren no no. Asem wo nyina so a da chinchirima kofa Hansard no mo kenkan a ebe vindicate ni say o ka asem a na ejina mu na di mu.
Yes.
Nanso sabe asem a yura atufo senkan no any die kwan so. It's not deserving of a minority leader. And especially Obi Awaye deputy finance minister before. Okay. Atufo say, Mr. Speaker, there are 11 million people, 11.3 million people employed out of 33 million Ghanaians. That means, Mr. Speaker, out of every 3 Ghanaians, only 2 this means 2 out of every 3 Ghanaians is unemployed. So at 2 and say Ghana for a man 33 million. 33 million no 11.3 million and they employed. Into wachemu miensa. Into si echemu miensa dia ufa nipa miensa bia na mienu eni adwuma baako na yeden ewa adwuma. So I say, Mr. Speaker, out of the 33 million people, only 11.3 million people are employed. This number includes peasant farmers. This means that 2 out of every 3 Ghanaian is unemployed. But Obi, is that the case? Is that how we calculate unemployment? Because atufo saying the sebi akra ya won nempo aka ho. But so we share data na ye calculate unemployment akra ya won ne up to the age of 15 years. Ye mfa na nye den enka ho. So we share Ghana Statistical Service definition of who can be classified within active employment sector. Obi ya won ne be 15 years enka. One more macro. In fact, so we have employment and unemployment calculation. You have to look at active, those who are actively looking for work. Obi oha obetimi fall within the employment age, but that person may not actively be searching. For example,
those who are willing and available to work.
Yeah. And to Obi or SHS. Be our bro 15 years, but only willing and available to work. You cannot include that person in unemployment rate. Obi our university whether employment age, but only actively searching, willing and available. Unfaninka unemployment rate on anamebwa. It is a minority leader and a former deputy. Nowadays, sabin cry our money. Any or more macro retirement, sister and above our money actively working and all of that. A boom. So now you're unemployed. What have you done? You have misinformed Ghanaians. Tina make say emphasis on what? Hansard. Because the information that Hansard capture on that day no, wrong information. Completely wrong information. And your best yura at 2 forcing. So you are a minority leader. Baby, ya peja wedru no. Umodu. O kasama ye nuanmo a omo minority no. O na ye panyi a woda omo nyina no. Enti se wo begina ho na wo kasa. Make sure say why your analysis here. I mean, if you look at the definition of unemployment, active one, it tells you say someone yura ne kan no. Na enye nsemu a
now on the floor of parliament, you know, for those who are on the majority side, will be a easy point of order.
So I said this happened when President Kasawi
leaders
more comments now or more a call for adjournment. No more but the next day about debate. So perhaps ABR one of the majority members correcting in the proper debate there. I don't know. I was not there. I am referring to what the Hansard captured on that day and what media captured on that day. And I make us say, because a educated Ghanaians in tea, because a Hansard ne capchentino, because a Nagana Mabunin cry ashentino, it is important say you move baba betana. Now you correct it, sir, falsehood no. Say you calculate unemployment, sir. Unemployment is not a simple deduction of those who are employed from the total population. It is not never done anywhere in the world. Atosibu, you are to force in Sir can be about what we term as net migration. Osei, Abanwe and Abanwe. Ghana for to quite chain. Meaning that part of it. What is Obi, you'll be a friend on net migration. Now, my main read the definition of net migration and sure. Net migration is calculated as long-term migration minus long-term immigration. Immigration with E.
That is emigration.
Emigration, okay. Let me pronounce it that way. You are right. Emigration. So, long-term immigration minus long-term emigration. Into strike the balance between the two. And Obi, there is data on this Saudi, and for the last you be Ghana for, especially some of the bloggers, normally they are better bonting Ghana for Johnny free Ghana, then they end by December there no be a Johnny and all of that. There is actually data captured on net migration, and offer the data on net migration now. It tells you amount all the way from 1976 on Ghana. It gives you all the data. And and I hate to do this comparison because you see, we see, but for educational purposes in Tina Mayes Adewe. So far Ghana net migration data. The only time one of the times I who say na Ghana very very well, performing very very well was President Kufuor time. For some weird reason, on only time no, but you can attribute it to because of the coup d'etat. Ghana for be there's a new democracy and a new leader. Well, the first democracy,
a lot of them felt safe to come back
and all of that, and you see that there was a positive trend, but immediately you see that trend started reversing, and it's gone to the negative trend even under President Akufo-Addo. And the net migration data now, starting from 2007, 1.079, 2008 1.288, Memra 2010 and about 0.621, 2011 0.287, 2012 and a statistical in the negatives. Now no Ghana for na kono na doors no sene enipa eba abetena Ghana for that period na definition and capture no. You see that 2012 was the first time after Kufuor you call negative, and only by negative 0.046, 2013 negative 0.380, up to now 2024 negative 0.299. So we share even President Mills and Mreso the bedroom President Mahama Mreso na the data shows that there was a negative on our side. More were leaving than were coming in. In fact, Akufo-Addo Mreso na one who say the trend is reversing back to the positive. Why? You can look at issues like a year of return. African Americans are more person more back, and Ghana phobia more person Ghana for mebunu bi more person more back. Somebody like me, crown it will capture me. So what I say, and all of that. And again, we are minority leader. Now said the Hansard is capturing you. You have to make sure say information now what they to Jano Sabi and yet the ubo usremu keke. But it should be informational data a support on. And the data shows that see even the analysis are under President Mahama Mpono. Now worse than what we are currently experiencing. And anybody who wants to can just Google net migration data and it gives it to you. And Ghana, all the countries in the world. In fact, Usha India and other places called mononet migration here higher than here because for obvious reasons. Among Kofu also Mutuko America and other places for jobs and all of that. It's your best. If the hazard is capturing us, then we must make sure say the year come parliament no idea no cre. Send a bear dachi mebunu kofa hazard no more kaya. The omobeka no ebeya idea especially so a minority leader.
Very well. Kofi Tonto ena yaten in Kano with some initial reactions there, but make us a lawyer Chum Berema Ababe Kansa ono ye member of the National Communications Team for the NDC. Your discussion segment here, one of our sponsors, a Seahorse engine oil. Me pacho minim coolanta uyusu na coolant na nya dia, and for more this habit says mu coolant na drop here na mu di nsuo na mu di gumu no coolant the na abrofo atena se aye coolant ankasa in the yemfansuo en replace coolant se udi nsuo egu engine coolant mo a de aye ne se ebe cause rust any corrosion na wo engine nso na lifespan ebe teso ene mesel choose Seahorse 50-50 engine coolant. Seahorse 50-50 engine coolant. It protects your engine no from overheating, and rusty, and a corrosion and so any ABC. It prolongs your engine lifespan. Now fuel consumption at Teso, a smooth driving condition. Seahorse 50-50 engine coolant once I'm making. Your other great, it be a 3367 coolant. And you 1090 coolant, but the account for man the 50-50 coolant Seahorse the Abba Moma in Shannon. So it's available nationwide. Lubricant shops in Yanara, fraying 0244 577 559 0244 577 559 and they were 0540 424 386 0540 424 386 Seahorse 50-50 coolant a bow engine no buying come on. Franco Trading Enterprise and so say any Oma take delivery of CCTV camera on-screen display menu and a sign of very easy configuration. Your chest freezers, any refrigerators, your washing machines and so idea. Now said the munim that no about mobile phones and accessories. Franco Trading and also do any extra smart televisions 32 to 55 inches. Ubinye bi ohato Franco air conditioners nenso ebi ewo 1.5, 2.0 and a 2.5 horsepower. Ni na ope bi wo. So order your new man online na your man 40% discount. 40% discount from all our shops nationwide. Download the Franco Trading app now on Play Store. And so call your website francotrading.com. francotrading.com. Now order on your man online near amount of 40% discount. Your numbers any 0246 422 338 0246 422 338 and it was 0555 939 311 0555 939 311 Franco Trading Enterprise tail phone papa efie lawyer Chumberman patrol your microphone here na ye nin komo bibi aboko de
obi yes
Adom Lawyer Chumberema. We brutal.
Kofi. Many in some but no cranny about it.
Okay, can occur now.
No cranny one employment has gone up under your government.
Okay.
It can't be disputed. Because we had the rate as it was as at 2016, 2017. I would take over government. Now I had the current rate per Ghana Statistical Service. Akoso. I change the over to any so automatically. What does a figure no per your friend saying? to analysis or lawyer
pa na welcome
unemployment ekosro. It's a very simple matter. You are weighing and you make and mama so Ghana's as service for figures. What's the unemployment has gone up. It's almost 14% or it's about 14%.
Year end or quarterly.
Oh, me say as it stands now, it's about 14%. Kofi is undisputed. It's about 14%. That's what I say. And not sure I say we were not at 14% some years back. It's a year 14 automatically increasing. Where you in book loans and be simple mathematics. I increase it. That's what I say. And the I buy a sudi say animam you obafa kwan bi so ama enyumatimi aba. Me can animam you say some of them may be direct, some may be indirect. Until me kasa animam you. In this abundant media masadi and how no say how so ya. Automatically the blame will not go to any other person but the government. Simplicity. And I know the idea now. Obi, what do you know and I know
but that will not also mean so we depart from the factual inaccuracies as it were from the statement of the minority.
Now they have been so inaccurate to their figures from time immemorial. The finance minister was in parliament to read the 2024 budget. He said they have created the number of jobs. The figure I'm trying to get it. Let me see.
Is it the 3.5 million one?
There is no. The 3.5 is the 3.5 million was set by the employment minister. Okay, yeah, on count 2.3 million.
Okay.
To Parliament in November 2023 when he was reading the budget. February, the Vice President said it's 2.1. And the inconsistencies in the woman, they have been so inconsistent with their own figures. Because Parliament is a House of Records. So why I was Mr. Ubusamia, make like I said, impose me need be around to buttress the point. I may believe the finance minister can more than what that about me I said. So what I say? Yes, because I know they are no I mean budget normally and then come yet. Some and they are not the money, but for the actual documents now. Assembly okay be the nitty-gritties no. And I may be pushed to believe it more than any other person did be. Because I 2.1 2.3 3.1 I said there's a difference of about 200,000 and no more within 2 months now. So yes, I go hobby inconsistencies in there over pen. Everybody so what I say. But what they are for into what I my before some baby I chance on vetting.
Yeah, vetting, okay.
Of the deputy ministers I course. Hey, I knew what is a position in man as a mobile mombio, make camp up night.
And they been so
more Collins at Marco Abaso. At least he was able to impress me this afternoon.
Oh, Collins was today.
Yes, in fact, two deputy ministers in there. The colleague now Nudi can buy and Collins Bandi. Only one Magange. Now, deputy energy minister buy besides how much fuel 1 liter is and goes with him.
I know why Impo MP no.
But what is Sunny Abua or something? Yeah. Sending Sunny Abua.
And yeah, Abua.
No, Abua. And I Abua, Abua, right? Yeah.
Impo MP no.
Okay. What on make energy minister, deputy energy minister.
1 liter. Ebi assassin. Me, I was at the further question said, do you buy fuel? I was yes. What of fuel and deputy energy minister? I mean that liter price per fuel.
Asempa FM.
In two percent, I was born a truck.
Oh, massa. And you will be a
but Collins there.
Oh, Collins the do. I just make a minute. I am here. One year's work. Collins the do. Collins was able to impress me because in fact, we should come on. No Collins in Puna on almost 20 time on.
Oh, okay.
But I couldn't let me say another and I reside in Zongo. So, where do you go? Why not into my run? I've got the Zongo. But Collins did well. Collins did very well, and I'll commend him because I never come from Collins when we see Brazil. Collins is very humble, and human relationship is also very good. Human relationship very good. But what the circle anymore? Me, I'm not command. What the circle anymore? One be brave is or transfer if you among
colleagues.
Yeah, most if you don't know boy. deputy minority leader.
Yeah.
Commended him on said the suban ACT how or see carry no and that he recommended no, and not just him. I mean some other people also commended him. And
Collins is a solid guy,
one-on-one, and then we know how he behaves.
Yeah.
And see the air can me lifestyle no be when the member of us 1 years budget. And I'll commend him for that, and I wish him well in his ministry. Now, and he can back home and say, "Now, you say what? You was that first one? No, the American assembly. What is the root cause of doom so?" Running a man. And so I didn't be.
Oh, that was also there.
Maybe they no be. They make him. This one where your agencies ni bo
or qua and I learning on the job. I get the point about before you come to the vet, at least
get something before you come there. Because actually, Massa
and you know, strangely, Unim said the ministry and its agencies they've been in Takrade for last week. Our retreat.
Yeah,
I saw Collins there.
Yes,
I saw Sunny also there.
Exactly.
I'm a bit surprised.
Collins never can say yes.
No, he was there.
Okay,
he was there.
Yeah. Okay, before the betting committee.
Yes.
So what you know, and even before that, you guys, your names have been made known for about 2-3 weeks now, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So I mean, you have gotten some kind of enough time to do some readings, get to understand certain things. I mean, basically, be kakra. So what I say, some nitty-gritty you have to say, possible, because obviously, who can say petrol wide. And that's a boy, deputy energy minister there. If you have petrol and any design was more, they will ask you. Nah, come on, so I say, only media. Only about Jota petrol was in Yamato, what on the other say. Obi. Anyway, but those who have attended me, so for me, anybody and I'm machine, my comment on normally, and I cannot. I think I saw Kobo's own, but on the no. I was busy, so I couldn't really watch it. Yeah. But for him to, I know you perform.
Oh no, so Koboy didn't put it. No brainer. I think Obia Metis also was impressive here. Dakwa Newman.
Okay, Dakwa I'm sharing just the intro. Okay. I'm introducing him to the committee. But I think honestly, BB and I think I stood up.
But I hear the reviews. Not just say she did well.
Okay.
And I.
Oh no, I didn't deputy minister.
Main gender.
I got one here.
Or no, yes, sanitation.
Okay.
Lydia.
Yeah. Sanitation.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Okay. And then me find someone mum deputy. Okay, I see. That's fine. That honestly, she's young. I mean, with a very young lady. So also coming up all the way to a full minister there, and times is normally can start to a deputy as an be out there for so. So also what me are impressed are we are wishing them well. Over me from there, so we know. Me there be a massive conversation. So we are be an jawdi but jadimpa. Oh, watch because I didn't go out to some transfer of border. A time will come by now crowd Trump and you and flew. You see, I might have never known you be. So just but Nina maybe being Kawachi, I was not being a board in to swat. Yeah, because as soon as you better hand we say your performance must always speak for you. It's very important.
It's true.
Having said that, I think that we will wait for you to direct us on the way forward.
Very well. Inti Ekosiisen say hi Asempa FM lawyer Chumberema and Moatene and Kano. Pacho say who tie me ye hwe nim say Atik Mohammed will join us by a WhatsApp number ne 0548 443 523 0548 443 523 or the messages ni bre be jebre na yakan ni nyina e de amamo. Let me see if we have some few messages here na fe yetimi atwa so, but be reminded and so say in topics are a good table. You see Ghanaians are aware of load shedding. Just release a timetable where former President John Mahama Ninsema waka ache abenyi, and he also made that way with a former experienced driver over a careless driver's mate, and you also choose a former experienced driver over a careless driver's mate. Mahama to Ghanaians, and Baumia leads Mahama in 10 swing constituencies. Outcomes International report. Outcomes International. That should be, I think, a survey reporter about and other current issues. No, the interview with the wife of the late Dr. John Kuma Esquire. Assignment victims of military brutality demands adoption of committee report. Electoral Commissioner agree with political parties to maintain guarantor system. Use of indelible ink at IPAC meeting. In Wemunina and Semua Igu Yaponosua Yebefa Emubiedi home and Komo. Into Moma Yenina Yen Shannon son. Ma Yentie we Emra Yeba will start the actual conversations. Stay here. Yes. To the end. Okay.
You see, Obi.
No.
Unemployment data discussion. You see, lawyer. Nobody disputes Ghana Statistical Service data now.
Yes.
Quarter 1 to quarter 3 of the year 2023. You see that it was an anomaly.
Yes.
Who say unemployment rate, unusually, Ekosiise. But you need the year end to see what the final number is. 14% now. The quarter data, and I will refer to. If I report here, me, it states it. So that is a quarter. So you have to look at the full year end to see what the actual unemployment rate is. But Obianiwa onim the challenges I face your minor in that particular year. I drive inflation and several other factors.
Yes.
It is not in dispute to say that year no when you anomaly na say number na kosra. It's not in dispute. But me a comment by minority leader said 22 million Ghanaians are unemployed. 22 million Ghanaians are unemployed. All kind Accra ya won ne. Any sabi penny what this 70-80 years in the unemployed data. And one some na yeka.
Penny what this 70-80 years.
That you now and the American don't tell them. Kokachira forcing.
There's a range as when it comes to age. One with me money, and we all know this for a fact.
Then you forcing. The forcing doesn't know this for a fact.
But did he say Did he say that?
But I just read to you what he said.
Did he say I heard you reading it, but I didn't hear anything about what I want to know.
Mami true. Any panel say Ghana you 33 million.
Yes.
Emu 11 million a year juma. 22 million na kan nye juma. 22 million omo ye hwan. 11 million now maka omo ye adwuma. It cannot be Accra ya won foforo na meboa. So Accra ya won foforo no can only be part of the 22 million ana meboa. This is simple inference, simple deduction. 22 million no can only include sabi ya papa what this 70, 65 whatever. And Accra ya won foforo and Accra what JHS and Accra what SS I won ye adwuma. That can only be included in the 22 because what they can define 11 million amount, which is people who are employed. It is a minority leader because Asem now Onuaka said this should go on record. Now you be correcting her. You want to make it something else. No, let's not make it something else. This is the house of record. And it is important say Obia or your penny look parliament, you can't penny for a parliament. Now you speaker. Now you need two deputy speakers.
Now.
If you are about the minority leader, and the majority leader, and their deputy majority, deputy minority, and their whips.
Yeah.
This is the leadership of parliament. Atu force in Yasabe, a small person in parliament. In our political dispensation, we are campaigning for and this is what he said. And he said, let this go in the Hansard for record.
Very well.
That Mimi Banu will back of us 27 February 2024 Hansard no redia. That child will be misinformed or uninformed. And no one said Nayeka. If you want to talk about unemployment rate vis-a-vis Akufo-Addo and Mahama, we can talk about it and look at the numbers.
Kofi Mamena say, Ekosiise On Asempa FM. Edientie we Emra Ba into the actual issues. Mehusa Atik Mohammed Ababa Betna say, Yeba Sisi Amontwen.
Minimi Kuno said the American and I say, Yadi ba Mina Menin in a co Germany. Eko pray. Ye minim doctor bi anka nkyere me da. Se poison ba akumpa akomikunu moja mu. Ye minim ni se yade ene ye diagnose ye. We around August. And I yet chira ne yakum. Jonkume jinai oyebi. Ofadi edimu. Wama wan show oh akukudrumpa yenya ye deti ase. Eye de wa papa show ye. Pains ana wonam. And so wan show pain that de na wo so jina ye bia. Ofa pain mu na waye. And one motto behind this in the Bioka, we don't do what is convenient. We do what we are commanded to do. We are not living out of convenience. We are doing what is necessary. It's not about now. It's about the future. It's about impact. It's about legacy. So in spite of all the pain, he endured. And then all the shame crying from the bedside everywhere. Into Dr. Bia me, day one, I've been me a part of the medical team, both Germany and this place. Obien will catch them with that say a poison. There were medical reports I will have both from Germany and this country. In can poison yourself. Obien can food poison. And say I am a mama. Ye me dear. Send them it here. Minimiade kumikunu. Any poison. Me a sofu. Me njina hampe cheap. Fe enfanje shwe. Inti adi kumikunu menka se kuno. Sebi se ubi adia aye jonkuma. Ha me ba penny kura was just 16 years. The last one or 4 on D5. So ubi na a poison papaya. Me the first person I me pese me and oba be hwem kola ni nyina mama. But me my enfadia enimu pese de to papa wa bobra. 45 years now. Omo kan say just no. John has lived more than some 90 years. Omunya better opportunity in life than him. So I won't say what is not there. As far as I'm concerned, my husband was sick. I know the sickness. I won't lie. And that's what I know, it killed him. So if anybody know anything, I want to know.
Franco Trading Enterprise still phone Papa Fie, Samsung near, Nokia near, iPhone near, say our printers, mobile phone, accessories. Franco Trading Enterprise, our no TV, I had this satellite, any ultra panels, a bomb
Facebook, Sauko Franco Trading Enterprise page. Nasa likes number 100,000. Ayoma, and you muniga. Samsung at www.francotrading.com. Android app, Franco Trading, Instagram, at Franco Trading. Nani Pabadi for Dosunti. Franco, at the Momo Pay code number 189480.
Your branches on the Bebre Wagana baby, Nemum, head office on the Twaya Dabraka, opposite Roxy Cinema.
Tema, Franco Community 1, One Waterworks, Nedianime, Cycle, opposite Odor Rise, Madina, 100 meters away from the police station. Kaswa, Franco, opposite Kaswa Polyclinic.
And now for your numbers in 0246 422 338 and 0546 133 188. Franco Trading Enterprise. Still, phone Papa Fie. And you're not going.
In life, choice is good, but choice plus safety is way better. Your safety and comfort is paramount. Under the cylinder recirculation model, you can buy LPG in a safe environment. All cylinders are inspected and maintained to the best safety standards, so your safety is assured. Just take your empty cylinder to the nearest exchange point and swap it for a filled cylinder. Different cylinder sizes will be available to meet your pocket size. Imagine cooking in a smoke-free environment. This will improve the health and well-being of you and your family. Choose LPG in a safer model of distribution. Cylinder recirculation model. Securing your safety. Creating more jobs. A message from the National Petroleum Authority under the patronage.
Chale, we be Ghana and match be one a month. That be why DSTV they give you more for less. Yeah, Titiswo. From the 1st to the 31st of March, grab a DSTV decoder plus a dish and 1 month compact subscription at a cool 299 Ghana cedis. Make you no miss out on seeing Kudus, Iñaki, and all our Ghana stars in the Premier League, La Liga, Serie A, and Champions League. Sweet Mommy too gets movies for Kwabena Magic, the kids channel today, but parental control day to make them safe. This one be for everybody, oh. Rush now for your DSTV full kit with 1 month compact subscription at any sales point for 299 Ghana cedis this March and be entertained. DSTV, it's your.
Hey, you're the up and coming landlord. Who died yes where you?
Kwame, I done me we aka roofing and a ceiling. Na me contract announce so say. Ne fani na enkodan rocksters. Wonso wo kromo pan, wo dwen ho sen.
The contract and won nimnia ko. Ghana had here a ban of quality metal trusses, roofing sheets, plasterboard, and a POP ceiling there. Aye rocksters. Enfie be brain in a rocksters. Adi roofing sheet papa and who aka there. Asum Ghana for.
Enka yesi ya no mu die nso ebo.
Enia du fudi achi na nkotwa de bon ne Sundachi. Fre 0544 338041. Say your metal trusses, roofing sheet, plasterboard, and a POP cylinder. Fre rocksters, now one chawuntum.
Hey, Nana Bedianko. I am mango. I Jumano. And I am mango. One wants an increase with libido. That's a dough bruta. That's the F for Iron Man Vital. Come on. I'm a one combo. Something young what's in your baby. For Iron Man Vital. Let you money easy. Or prostrate your canoe. No Iron Man flow. Obey if and Uncle Kawin Yarame to my juice or correct. Iron Man flow. Or what to prostrate Howie. Bessiabe. Mananum, Jawa, IFM, Oma Bessiabanum Cossion Comway, Oya Bebri, Atapanara Peta, IFM, Obama for your food, a pedelus waiter, Aya Slim Mix, Obama Oda too smooth, Heba, or Drugstore Biaramo, September 0535 400 020 Anna 0546 100 100 Anna 050 875 8701 Edria Yamanyimpa onzim fidu awache abata na one benu onye apemfo ngratui FDA hapenado aya heba healing the.
Across Africa, a new era has begun, shifting our focus to a new horizon, connecting us with one purpose: to create and share opportunities to grow. Today, we are making a brighter tomorrow, built by our dreams and our energy. Across our continent, across the world, we are creating a better way to a better future. A Pan-African future. Together. EcoBank. A better way, a better.
Constituency watch your first from Kwa and Asempa from Radio Jumati Cassia Ekosiisen so now free election year Tino yet in Bell constituency sense and when you force what is some way in now I'm on your pocket same you and this in the MPP one now will see for what's up and so much say Samson of political parties the movement I can subenya Quenya anti-parliamentary candidates regional and constituency party executives sitting MMDCs no more keke hunyina bepabi ubenya Quenya beside ya wakuma so be face to face. Yeah, but your parties na your constituency no. Near Eha constituency ni so make wasam. Na ya fifi parties ni manifestos no mu. Ashe bako dwa. Wo mu share some pesua no so ashe sa kosi sei. Oso na mo aso na form. Tie ya, se na be ya obehu da ya ba wo pesua so na wo share. Asempa FM constituency watch. Baso fie de bia 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Yeah, hwese be ko be 50 constituencies. Ansa na fie ba to na bi so. Asempa FM constituency watch.
Asempa FM Ekosiisen say what? Asempa FM. Obi never know. Obibo. Ode Asempa na bo. Obi never know. Obi never know. Ode Asempa na Ekosiisen nie Bonsu awo Asempa de brane mamba Obi som
And my son high Asempa 94.7 FM. Yama munya na kwa babio eside mobile Ekosiisen dwumedie eso in studio. Kofi Tonto, or a member of the NPP National Communications Team, lawyer Chum Berema, a member of the NDC's National Communications Team, and Atik Mohammed. Enti mo amuni Atik Mohammed onim se obeka yen ho e wo studio ha. He represents the Mass Action for Sustainable Development in Africa, MASDA, on anyone executive director. Yente nka Atik akwa bete saying
obi nyame adom na unso
adumia bibi ekoye die
oh republic ye de mamem di kanka say the Republic of Gamaga for echiao na you see me fan chiasunko embre we na Gamaga na so see me chiao but having said that the obi sam say koye obi say
sir, in your personal economy.
Is the personal economy the monetary? You know, but other things, there are other things we can be grateful to God for.
Sure.
At least that's
which is good.
You know, and so yeah, starting Ramadan, come.
Yes.
When that one is
30 or 29 days.
Or 29
days.
Oh, okay.
And then the shot.
I see.
So, at least we are alive and well to start our important spiritual journey. Until we can be grateful for other things, and indeed we are. But personal economy in India, a whole lot is left to be desired.
Are you sure? There's nothing there.
And yet, economy how they build the stomach infrastructure. You got the normal necessities of life, you
see, macro economy.
Yes.
Macro and then you find reflections of that in the macro.
Sure.
And when I say macro, I'm not speaking in the economics or technical sense of the words micro and macro, but I'm just saying, like, you know, the lower level and the higher level. Until individual economies is what we aggregate to give you the macro economy. Until I can tell you, say, macro, there are issues. Oh, indeed, there are issues. And they are not just, as I told you, people feel it is about luxury.
Yeah.
And it is when people seek luxury, no more complaining. Yeah. But I can tell you that there are genuine issues of bread and butter in this country. Where the next meal is coming from, Nippon has no idea. And we say these things lightly.
Yeah, but it's true.
Obi, I mean, I'm sure we are in the same. People reach out to you sometimes reluctantly.
Sure.
Because so reluctantly the person has to reach out because once the issue it remains unresolved. One car, there's no way obetimi edidi. And sometimes these
issues have been with us, but are we seeing an exacerbation
the
now?
Extent of deterioration as for issues of bread and butter till the end of time there will always be issues of bread and butter because Yankupon boy extremes in they would always exist what is here but the extent is the matter. Sometimes those who spiral from the middle class into the other class, when things are working well, you see a transition from Ufa income pyramid now.
Yeah.
Ghana, the income pyramid is such that Duduana was here. Until the focus of Abaimbia is to transition as many people as possible into the middle category.
Yeah.
Until Ghana, your focus is we need to build a stronger middle class. But I say kakrana omo transition ko ebi mu adi transitioning. They are coming back. What I say, no mutu honum no so no. Ebi mu are joining us.
They are reversing to the old.
What I say, and that is where the fear and the worry is. But otherwise, as for bread and butter issues, there be but when the environment is conducive enough to propel a lot more people leaving the basement into the middle level, no, that's when you say that, oh, because you're all middle honum, no, and there are other dependents in the lower category now or show.
Yeah.
And even though their incomes may not be enough, no, but nipa now otimi call middle honum, no, otimi bua as many as he can. What is here? And that is how you even the imbalances as far as income disparities no go no. But if yenduduana ana kakrana omtimi middle bar, that is where issues. And unfortunately, Emi said that is what we are experiencing. There is a great deal of this transitioning by the middle class back into the lower class. And that is where the source of worry is. Yes. Yes.
Fantastic. Ekosiisen.
Just quickly. Now with the means now Kofini Chumeka about unemployment rates in Asempa.
Sure.
The unemployment is measured in numbers, in people. Into yeti aye can employment. We're talking about individuals, Nipa. Now, I agree with Kofi. If indeed near Okane is what Atu said, I think it was an exaggeration that has no basis. It's not founded in any economic theory. It's not founded in even common sense. Say because you claim 11 people are in full employment, and the church said the rest of us are unemployed. Then you don't calculate unemployment like that. Usually, unemployment is calculated, and the rate of unemployment is calculated as a percentage of the labor force. And labor force, young crowd, any but they are seeking employment.
Yes.
What I say? So you cannot calculate unemployment taking the entire working population. You usually would use the working population when you are talking about, say, labor force participation rate and so on. And that is when you take the labor force as a ratio of the working population. But a ban employment there is specific to the labor force. You find who are outside of the labor force. And I think Kofi did well by trying to explain to you that you can labor force now. A young who are in employment and who are actively seeking employment. Until underage, between 1 and 14 and 60 and above and what you say. And there are people who are terminally ill. The person falls within the age bracket, but terminally ill and yadi ubiti. This until but on the ukaka boom unemployed. That's not how you do it. And in the event, even a bar employment statistics and our data now, you will be a friend accessions and separations. But
Asempa FM.
We share Jumano. But it's just temporary. It's just temporary. But why then? But so that is called separation. And when you say permanent Nipan is outside of the employment bracket. And are people transitioning between and amongst jobs. What I say? And now Obisu Ebi or Sesejuma. Fancy T company Kasebi and I'm making you the MD. You resign from multimedia. But when like you have not resumed and I have not assumed your new position. Temporarily you're unemployed. But I know what you say. And these are the most important and the most difficult type of unemployment is cyclical unemployment. And we say Nippon or blow pim and Nuna a hydrogen and who has some can. So you cannot say employment 11 million na ewejuma. I can hire unemployed. I mean it's so simplistic, not founded in any economic theory or concept. And my suspicion is he said that for the exaggerative value of it, because politics there among for exaggeration it sounded dangerous. It was like our situation is perilous. Maybe really dear say out of 33 million, 11 million, 2 million are unemployed. Hey, Sankagana had the but that is not to discount the fact that unemployment rate has risen.
Yes, and it's real.
And it's real. Of course. What has here? And it's about time we began having conversations about Nedi can crampono. Always we talk about unemployment. Employment, so how many people are employed? On 11 million. There's no way to verify that. But you see, what is even the definition of employment? And over OECD, for example, their definition of employment is at least 1 hour a week. Ghana, how much are we?
1 hour a week. And why
oh, Ghana, we Juma 8 hours, 4 weeks, a month. No crampo. You saying what I say?
I think that definition is not universal.
So, like I'm saying, we need to be clear what even the definition of employment is.
Sure.
What was here?
Sure.
And I keep making this point. Ghana, we need to set up Ghana Statistical Service or muye
but a labor,
we need to have a specified and a specialized unit and our body even separate from GSS. Our major one is a labor data.
But I'm told the labor office should have done that.
No, then you see that office I ever set it up will be working with the labor office.
Okay.
To be supplying them with data until me pay you and I'm register with the labor office.
Yeah.
That specialized agency, would be working with that labor office to tell them say within this period, nipa dudu ombe pay jumani. Unkrofo no more list so munye jumani. So you calculate unkrofo.
Why won't the labor office do it?
Kufo had a brilliant idea. But we shut it down because of propaganda.
Yes, I'm on phone call register.
Only me, I'm on for Kafa. Say, Chrome high Tariama is a quantity officer. Why we need you big trouble. But if we had looked and Ketnasi Edging who said, Adi, a idea bebwa, Uko UK, there are labor offices everywhere. Any UK Sabi, which country is more advanced? But it helps you with data, and data, you need data for planning. There's no way you can plan without data. And these are, I think that we need to bring back SAR concept, and also have a specialized body. In the US, a friend Bureau of Labor Statistics, dedicated specifically and solely to labor data and labor statistics.
When the president says in the last 1 month in the US, he created a Juma say
he's saying with exactitude of Kwekuba Kubeka. With exactitude. On him you all can, because if we baby data no, but Chroma dear Obia Soria, we've created there is this amount of jobs that have been created.
Your favorite one here, planting for food and jobs.
Atupadian is a who on offer fertilizer coin. So he calculated the number of fertilizers by some fictitious number of workers who are supposed to be using fertilizer and the number. And he was serious about it. So because he was able to supply and distribute this number of fertilizers, it translates into some number of jobs our created. But because there is a vacuum. In the when there is data vacuum, Sabi Obia can you pay? And I don't think that it even helps in conversations and so forth. And it does just a bit, I wanted to say about employment.
I think it's good. Inti,
okay, what can be about? Minister, I'm attention. Obi a wear Juma.
Yeah.
But because all pay Juma being tia,
yes. Yeah.
In my emperor other issues, Mr. Kofi, maybe I'll start with you. I don't know which of them I'll say OPK ED I've went through all the issues we happen so my main shall say Kofi.
Okay, I think sir who raised Baku about Ira John Kumar.
Sure. Nigerian interview
Obi, may I say me free her by 6:15.
Very well.
My boss will event to be in Tessameko. Now, Edikan, Mema Ebusian Forno, Nina Yako. Ira Mahmoud Baumia, His Excellency, Echo, Ira John Kuma, Nayiri, Efi, or Fibako, Chantan or something. Echo Chia, Nayiri.
Asempa FM.
Memene Danonso, Oko. Ne maame nso ho ewo adwuso ekochia o maame ene na busuan nso nti wakochia kunani no na wakochia ne maame nso awofo na nse ne maame ne papa nyina no nso omotiase from what I've been told nti oko kumase ekochia busuanfo no ewo adwuso to be precise nti party no ne mpanyimfo aka nyina ma abusia no yakọ in fact ọkọ
na yere no hono panimfo bebre ne di akire parliamentarians nso akọ mehu se era majority leader ene yenuanom parliamentarians bebre nso akọ na yere no enti ni nyina kafu ase MPP party ejuso Asante man ene Ghana man nyina ahwere adekese Ira John Kuma yobi a wasomo man wo akwane ase nyina so me ankasa de menene mienu no yenim ye ho but me nkase na ye close friends ana bibisa be se bosume be bakuni ko bosume bakuni fa na mene na yonkofa no emu ye den e wo adwuma bi ana menene ye enti ya yonkofa no mu be ye den a kamia ye se bia every 3 days 4 days bia no ye touch base enti last week Monday the Monday before you know me hu no me share no baby a edin komo ne ade na me kramika so minister say me ba ho because we've been discussing it for a long time say me ba ho but me ntimi nkoe na so minister me ba na edin komo na exchange pleasantries ewo around Accra haya baby me pese me de baby ko baby enti edin komo in fact obusa for a request Monday na no pa no ema me request no ma no bibia no na ma me di koshia no enti ya wada no na me wo restaurant a me didi ena madam for ba ko send me message what did you call so na me say o dan no si John Kuma na me say o adan ena o sisi ti wa me yam share me started say me make phone calls near there unfortunately na akoye no kresa ase ampa enua no we free ehare hosem sabe babunu a oye babunu prekope because omuso wadi 45 de nanso wo hwe kwan a wo fa afina ko binyampo okay let's say what's the UN age you know is it what is up to 45 and
for youth 35 and 40 but I think 35
okay 15 to 35
yeah
35 okay nevertheless o hwe kwan na o carry ne ho kwan a o fa so ye niema ne ade bibiri a kire se o ye babunu prekope na ye betimi aka se he is a man with a future utimi hu no kwan a o fa so ye ne niema kwan a o bo ne bra fa kwan a oni nipa di nkomo ene ade a bibia kire se obi a na obo ne ho modern so far minyante nipa ba kumpa waka asembone afa Ira John Kuma so far obia matibia no eka ne ho asempapa na ho brasia na owo na yem ya na oye ene sa na emene nyina me wo examples of ayem ya wa ya me di mani ayeden ehu enti baby a wo bia no ye besere se Nyankopon fa ne nto agya Abraham kokum na mfumso bi a wo ye bia no ode ache no na yenua no enya asomdwie wo baby a wo bia na titru kunani ne ma ne maame ne nuanom mesi ye ko abusuanfie ho wo adwoso no utie description na mo de mana se no ye busuan ni da so onzo omusu na nsem omu ka wo mu ne ade nyina kire se nipa no ye ni da so ma abusuan enti ade a aka akoma aka abusuan no baby a jese eni kwansa keka ti ebe mo bibia ya akọ na eno akire no nsem bebre aba obi na no unia journalist ba ku o de say ayi abranti obetna
GJ president na okay
Albert
on say to the bia na ye kan sem bibra na echinye ne niema bibre ya kan sem bibre say look baby Ghana journalism na ekono it's not always the case say obepe sabio obi de nsa kan obi ana obi didi century ni atama ye mu bia ni ho a ofo aso nanso umfa eno na no sia na de aye nyina so be kasa bebre me kan asem bi wo ha say Yen nuanom nsɛnkyerɛfoɔ bi de ɔmo pen ɛka nkɔfoɔ kasaboa hyɛ ɔmo yam. The tyranny of the pen. They say they are better tyranny of the mouth and others. Obi timi tena fidi kɛse akyi can some conclusive statements. Conclusive statements about obi abrabo any ade. Bibia no where come for him. And na di ho ye bibre aba. Me hu newspaper story, news articles, me hu other comments, but me decide to say until say baby I didn't koto ye na autopsy report beba na ye official autopsy report me nyi obia semo a wo kan bia anya den entun but what I say because say wa anya careful na ukojina ha unnim ne wo kan nti ye ma the official report na nya den emra official report ne ba ye nyina ye behu se busuafo pesi ho ye nyina ye behu adekra eku ye nua no ene ye dofo enye saa na ukojina we achi a wan hwe ya obeyamfo so osi obi betimi no atena ha unse covid by no ho ade bi sie obi wo ha no underlying conditions dada na bi a covid abeto so enti one of the challenges are nanko for with the death rate of covid ne say obi wo ho ne yare dada na bi a konya covid onya covid na bi a owu a na ya attribute death no to covid. And a lot of people were debating say is that the real attribution or was it that condition na na shehone dada no. That debate came. Enti me kan be say e betimi aba say enipa no ye nyina ye ni tua say we no wo enso de ekun no ankasa ya de foforo patcho what I say enu nti na hia say ma autopsy report ye den eba na pathologist now no wa ye the scientific work no e the final evidence aye den abetutwa na ye hu se kunafo no wakasa ene sa na ema ne nyina me de me nka ho asem bebre utimu se yaw ene ode kasae efi se asemo aba na nkofo atu agusu ho ye wono mo se o maye prophecy ne ade bebre nsem bebre na megidi se kunani ni free se da bi ese no kreda no ode no kreda eto ha so far de so ode no kreto ono na dwene mu ne nsusie mu na ode ato dwawi a ye besere se ye nyina ye ma yakoma mrafo na ye ma wono mu a omo sa ne ma yehu nimde no omo mra etwato obi yenye careful ensemo aye ka hye nipa kon sem bibiri aba e kan sem hye nipa bibiri kon ne sa ne ma ne nyina yenye careful so because asem bi o ha obe kan hye obi ene ne be dress pepepepepepe nipa no yi ne hu ba bi enyi enso ne bi ana enyo no asamatari be pam dia show enso ye bekum no na bi a enyo no enso na o ha obi a nipa no wanya no wanya awi so nti asemba yenye careful na yenhwe kwan a ye befa so aka asem no na ya make sure say enkofo ha obi ama nti obi medema no besi ya ma abusuafo ya akọ ye nuanom koba na mre wo mu ana ya ka ya da
mate kofi medase lawyer Chumberema ma yentie o me pacho
obi ekimfa de obi
sure.
All right, automatically John the end decided I mean as a colleague lawyer the didn't be fresh here. Me am say I think you were gonna win, right? I was somewhere in team I was in a meeting be. And I'm who's a popular me phone back also on a group page behind was. Lawyer's page back into me John Kumar. So the person who posted it and answer no bizarre question. Because no question mark seen as a nti e ma me text wa unu no mienu wa kojo for do ne bisanza what is happening but now we ani akosinsia nyina nti akosinsia na ba quickly na say sa no so ati then later I saw obi a snapshot I think Assassin Radio a publication I think they published it first to be a try no the 2 page ni back so na be say no cross yes we free maybe na I am making a kind of metias here say no so mo fly na nyi na I was say you no efa from Kumasi Josutu I want the obi media mo fancha me dey na
ale na utie ne aid na report on my say he was very weak unsa in local flights no. There is no place for you to lie down. No,
this for crying out loud. This guy was a minister.
I mean, they could have
yes. Come on, what are we talking about?
Because yeah, President most time you course that you could cut short for University of Energy and Natural Resources. Accident happened with your riders. Me, almost say. I'm about to up to now. Will be price serious. Yeah, they flew them to Accra. I mean, to 37. And the whole minister, Obi. Nasa, I mean, Yaden, so I didn't say you. I did them in Penifosi, you as a woman in Yavina. Yaden, Yavinipa. And so we know how to do the same. Nasa be as a passenger flight, the Nkofuna M1. Ah, you met me, I said, I mean, I qualified for or something to come and get into Accra. Nemo said not to ambulance, moi, Quatru Mazagway.
When I say
so, they are not.
Consequently,
I mean, big blow to them. Enjoy you, and there was no way. I mean, it was right after independence and revolution. Said Wednesday, right?
Yeah, Wednesday.
And they said yes. So obviously they could have gotten there. I mean, therefore to get him up. Possible. They could have. I mean, just land at just one and get him and bring him to Accra. Simple. Possible. Ni a drive on what the Kamu Kotri football to
the can even be.
When one another. Soon, coming so work almost as hospital and I don't even know.
I'm so Umudru Hospital, Honor.
Soon hospital. Nana is nobody in Queen. And everybody into do soon hospital. But if not, then you now what's it in Canaba?
No, when they got to Suno Musa, they no Imwaya, so they had to
move to the exactly. I'm making now. You must acquire what if Muga would have Coca now ambulance, I would them minimum ambulance and buy yet not more. I was also sad to be seen. Charlie, next time you have a business. But I mean, Yakon command me. I met in one, obviously, Mr. Cancer. John, I know so many years, but me can't only tell me more than 4 years. I mean, maximum 4 years. And I'm checking it as about 3 years or so older than me. And so, about me, they must be so.
Because you in a year in interview now, and penny. It was 16 years.
Oh yeah, me hum kola
back it try 4 years.
Yeah, me hum kola picture am say minim say na just say enkrandia which one of them hum pictures bia na kola na tin child say mariwa am sim mienu enum say enum say mamu aso mienu or something was na say mariwa me say one of them. Yeah, I mean sir as a young man of his I mean ne status no. And in the baby and nim the akokodru I know say in the school we doctorate no.
Yeah. Okay.
I want one can and company make media. NIBS no. And I was going there just because I realized that I mean people like him I've been there. At I say it's unfortunate say and so I didn't know one man and money be obi.
Yeah.
All of a sudden.
Yeah.
I tell you that we try na say na that you know but we pray that Yankopon can buy no actually running kwala ni nyina eden dey e ban say dey be kan say Yankopon jure eden because it's not easy say uku anum say da bia ne ko nakra na all of a sudden one can ho biom say ande ya na enisiso o yire fimu ya uku fimu ya ni na is very painful but yeah nhwe say yan nyina na mu yi no obi me last time I catch the media for because me have to me holiday me holiday but if I remember my mind from middle of December to the end of January I took it as a whole vacation month me the question come me because obi adman I didn't the tell me was one cause one punish who was something
yeah
ube ku sa ma wunya bra kon fan one cause anybody. The stories are plenty there, but whether or not it's a terminal illness, poisonous, or whatever, at some point in our life, we need to take care of ourselves. We need to take care of ourselves, and very good care of ourselves, not just taking care of yourself. Because one yana sa, na fe di ekoban se do baby no, na sika kura wo, na so na sika and you anton kwa ma. Se sika jini pen kwa ka president mo so ngo. Well, he's the president of the land. I didn't know power won't mean Gaza. And who even question it? Nobody will question it. Because at the end of the day, you think they're questioning one. Now, so I took critical, the answer to me and can. And you know, but the advice I've never touched and say, your mom then say, whether as lawyers or whatever, we will take good care of our, even as politicians. Yeah, the money get endorsed. Oh, how upon a Joe, and I do the night, where I say, what I said, but we need to take care of ourselves. It's very important. Now, you can say, no, now, the immediate better to you, what I tell you, President Mahama, right? Sure. Wouldn't say, and they are, you can say,
okay, no,
second, let me see enough now, no problem. Yeah. And they are, you can say, none watching or Greater Accra region or yet Greater Accra tour. Okay. Yeah, building the Ghana that we want, the tour, no, what they were Greater Accra. And there, mean, so was share, was so kind for, was share, and yet, you can say. Greater Accra House of Chiefs, no, was share more, share the regional executives who do the work. And no wedding Kitahona, if you what is happening to an I'm from what I saw, the last point with that I was working a spare dealers. Okay. Then tomorrow too he will continue. And the Boboshia so from penny for answer what James said and penny for in the four adjourning as to how we all want Ghana to be in the future. Mostly especially from 2025 January onwards. And until I will the same way and so far so good. Regions are around. The feedback is very good. People are, expressing what they want Ghana to be or how they want Ghana to be, and not necessarily their own force. So, something penizing and so you find back for them. It took a job now they are back there now they think to point their economy. Especially where governance is about serving the people. You must also know whatever they want. Now, about what you decide, you almost pen the India and they are so. I don't know the question. Now, no say what can be far a year. You can say, and you know, what they say, a young Caniano, and then I want a nipper and a janet na all can say, do something. Na and a minute only before this year, also, there is a technical hitches and technical challenges. You see whom were you? What they brought for to administer the Yawdin could help it in the technical hitches. But I only quote. I can only quote the Nekufuado. What say? Secania ni doom near sounds. I even say. FM. I was also. What does also in 1 hour time? Also in 3 hours time? Also in 30 minutes time? The only minister was 6 seconds and do me as a bad on Quandi or no to another at that time. They do so. So today, the same thing is happening. What can you know? A bit them Madiachi. I think somewhere last week or so. Because maybe I'm saying a lot of a whole night. I won't do maybe 8 o'clock. I'm out to the next morning. It's me that mad at and a passer I was on. And when you do so. And then the work I say ECG for any group of one phone and as a physical issues. Now, when we were also talking about that time, and the secretary was hey, you're challenging now one a generation issues, and that we need to get the needed power to be able to generate the consumers. Now we see and correct. I don't you didn't want to believe that, but I do also not there. What's the young to say technical issues and hitches and ABBA. Obi, and about a real media vetting and I recommend your friend saying Collins. Yeah. And made Timpo was a PDS for me collected 1.5 billion Ghana cedis. I have to say it, I'm not accountable for this. They are not accountable for that money.
They should be held accountable.
Obi. 1.5 billion, a company that is no longer having our asset. Not security budget through what kinds of bills and other to today. What you accounted for this kind? And nobody is talking. Meanwhile, one of the biggest problems we are facing today is money. Sika, are we here to pay your IPPs and so on and so forth? It is the kind of
you also know, sir, and you are a lawyer.
Yeah.
At the time they had the assets, they were not just owners of the asset, they were also managers of the asset. And so the cash waterfall system you put in place now. Once you receive the monies, the monies are divided. They are IPPs or
correct. I know
it goes to pay.
I know.
The impression should not be created. Say 1.5 billion.
They have not accounted for that money.
No, his argument is that say a big IPP so a big paying of salaries in Asifo.
Absolutely.
There's a way to account for all this.
Good. Yes.
His argument is
how do you know so much?
I told you that and I'm from Parliament. Cited by the former Minister Amakofibua.
And Amakofibua can say Omoje 1.5 billion.
Yes.
But how did Amakofibua come to?
No, but this should be matters of public knowledge.
No, I get it. But the point is, the question has been put. Say the 1.5 billion was not accounted for. How did we come by 1.5 billion?
So collection data is as for ECG, the collection data is there.
Of course, it's there.
Yeah, but if you've gotten the collection data, accounting being beyond the year can once a
what do you use the money for? I mean, it's kind of what did it?
But it's no longer in the covers of ECG.
What did you? What did you?
What is it?
Are we not supposed to know?
No, but if you follow the cash waterfall system, and it's also transparent.
Where they
everybody
applying
knows.
Is that what PDS was working with?
Absolutely.
Where they applying?
No, the point is, I said PDS, no. What changed about ECG's operations was
ownership,
any ownership. Every other thing in the chain was really the same. Because how did you scanner? You are still getting power from IPP. You have to pay them.
Yes.
Obi, are we still not getting power from IPPs today?
We are.
Abai no maka.
So ECG can take a lot. Asema wuki kramino nyadwe. In the sense that ECG is supposed to collect. Well, they're supposed to collect 100%. Yes. But what they are doing right now. What they are doing right now is 67% of expected revenue collection. They do 67%, and out of 100%, their entitlement is 28%. Because Omudiani, they are just distributors.
Yes.
All others in the value chain, they take the rest. But ECG 67%, you know. That is why the other utilities keep complaining. No, almost supply fuel to the plants. Complaining.
But you know, say because of such challenge, you know, and under Sekwe, the cash waterfalls.
And America, we're still having it.
Say again. Yeah, but you know, say if you compare now. To the time before the cash waterfall system, no,
there might be an improvement, but it doesn't mean the problem is not gone.
No, I'm not saying it's gone.
And American, so once there is that room for somebody to continue to do the normal, it starts reasons and the PDS, they probably took the money and did not pay the IPPs because
that can be verified.
Yeah, it can be verified. And American,
of course. So the point I'm making here is that.
But I also agree with you. They should show us where Omunya data, so we can be. We can once a month. We are sure. Say, we are not.
So we are saying said okay. There are unions can we are. You want him? I was all this can. Was this money used for every other thing that I was all this can?
This should be verified. This is verifiable.
We need to know it from them.
Sure.
But this people are, I mean, for God knows why they have gone whatever. Obi anto mka today yenya kan say contract na nya nya na ntia ban ka so
as for the individuals thankfully we know them we know them
what you say no energy minister dan
and crime as well expired it
I'm a Uber catcher say they use fraudulent documents in secure the deal nkwan ba nyina kwatete begum no apon so far he say kwesi nobody's talking about. The last time I heard about them was 70 years old. Say they are going to sue government. No, I heard it. It was said by the Congressman that they said they are intending or they whatever. I don't know whether they were intending or they are even going to sue government. No, I'm sorry.
That now cash. They won't even relieve some muko siki. Maybe you have to get a release.
Yes, I can.
But what do they relieve it? What? The audacity.
So in the national Obi, they make us in the same. Can you do? And lately, in fact, now no for candy.
What's that?
Oh yeah, what for candy? Or sit down. I was in a kind of mobile and I was now the can is a modern.
Kumasi has had a peculiar
issue.
Yeah,
so I've heard.
Underground cable cuts.
Yeah.
They've had a
something happened in Tamale, I think about 2 months ago. I was there about a month ago.
There's a problem.
I know.
No, but
I'm speaking in relative terms. So outage than who are Kumasi was worse because apart from the load management, no, now also underground cable issues and also it was very.
A month ago, they took 3 days to fix it.
And nothing America say. Say bian, every bian can you do bian, be actually. And you can't want to see why someone was with no. There's always a reason that caused that outage to come. Either from the main transmission side, or it be a cable issues, or it be a power plants need to be a supply because it be a winning gas or double supply or another only crude. BB time be a good number. But you see the politics that they played with it yesterday, and then they would tell them over because they okay, it's reasonable. Say anytime you be watching.
Sure.
But they watching so you are telling back to say same thing about the Inisia. What's on into? Then we do also there was within the technical hitches. And we brought
It's still technical. They are still technical. Whatever the issues are.
What is it? And we brought now maybe I said they're not a sin around there. And no be now so that say mema gonna for other sumu. It's not gonna for the sumu na. That wasn't the case. There was an issue, there was a problem. Who that problem needed to be fixed. And it was fixed.
In former president point and it's say no can the Ghana for.
Of course.
Banana do mun can.
Of course. And you know that.
Of course. See no e catch Ghana for say ye call a doom so a low.
When we got to there was nothing you could do about it. Okay. Say,
it's a problem and we need to fix it. Generational issues.
Okay.
Okay, can be because it wasn't generational. No, yes, you can't buy in the end. Can you so the simplest question we say? Me question. The simplest question is you can find Mary in the car part of the say you can't hear there. So why did you go to bring a Mary? See, here's why did you go to bring car power? Car power doesn't generate money. It generates power. So you can find the by say you're bending. So the point still remains that it was a generational issue. And we needed to keep that. I can't be my first care, but say, but my power and being more about candy or water than who I answer yet. Yet, generating more for the consumers to have it. But you see, it is time. I mean, I hope said yes in the woman not the very strand in the man who say, said, do send him away. Young na young into me and Cassas my ma, near Pastor the Pumacy bread.
Very well.
Name so how can I what Shana say? Will be time of the this and a money. Now, what the end yet? I found what I say is an agrico, yet an agrico, yet an agrico. We knew them, they were there. Sabi, I'm married Nicapo and Abayano, and yes, I my queen and the Bayan when I said I can not remember Bedrew, and yet easy for some my number Miffy, I'm a Manibiaso. So they were there. But we were playing politics with the issue. Making it look like Sabana not to Sabra and Casabita. As I would name him the ever
Asempa FM.
Yes, that government was doing everything possible to solve that problem. Which some of you shamelessly has you have acknowledged said, I'm past the no yeah. And they oh yes, it was fixed. Oh yes, it was fixed. Including even your own candidates because of yeah, no one for Tabasabody. Because the problem on the critique. Can you even imagine? Okay, more money yes I say somebody in the crowd say obi in Baboninia. You would not expect me to also sit here and I appreciate what the answer would the papa.
Very well. Lawyer, Mame Nase and Messer say Obeba say na TK you soon fin on say yet to me a tea on so Ekosiisen na higher Asempa 94.7 FM ma area discussion segment no and Ebremo said the munyina munim no Atik Mohammed would have a say Atik me pacho yetio
when I say obi yidi kan mamima me nua jonkuma the late mamima ne busua fo nyina yakọ enkanka ne yira eni no ma beja omo mom nyina yakọ the news in Canada T news you know epusam it's like that's the nipambe yehwe nipambe jihwe o ha ne ochina as you enya asumi senra enya
transit swiftly into the other world.
These are all lessons to all of us. It's a you see the infant could be na you will be called. See, ye niyem ye kasem ye nkoso enkaise there is a place that awaits all of us. Having said that, sad controversies, no conspiracy theories, be abayina. Me my dream, no me feel say na ehun here, and people felt say it was an opportunity to get some 10 seconds fame. Be young Mamin Kazane who said I was right at the point of action. Timinim
you mean John Wooden?
Na yedi. Una now to who be na yedi.
So or man LPM live presenter mentions.
You see, I feel say people's craze for relevance sometimes can be very poisonous. And indeed, as a memory and it's become commonplace amongst new journalists. Ghana for cry, I think that some of you are moved from new journalists. They are upgraded DJs. So almost so no pa. They speak only are the only ones who talk.
I will upgraded
DJs. So Ombe did this and shouting, misinforming the public, and pretending as if they have some indisputable and undisputable pieces of information now. Omodima listeners, you know. And look, that's the kind of we are treated to every morning. They'll run monologues filled with poisonous lies and misinformation. Oh, I think, sir, now Kofi Ekaba, GJ president, Albert Sauti, it may be difficult to sanitize that because we mandate to know. I mean, as an association, it's a voluntary group, and there's a limit to what you can do. Sure. But I think, sir, it's about time you began calling.
Okay, some of the name and shame project be. I don't know why they've not started.
Name and shame. And they name what?
Name and shame.
Sana GJ president.
Media Foundation for West Africa.
Media practitioner.
Wayward.
Media Foundation for West Africa started a name and shame project. And it was limited to politicians and even some journalists. Ekosiisen. That is not, in my view, deterring enough.
Asempa FM.
And it's not enough a disincentive for BR or yes, not to continue. Sorry, monologues now because they who know ni and throw ni I choose like how do they say how do you say and there is an incident that seems to coincide with vindication said Juma media make it a fax na make. And I think these are things that fuel Numabia and here. So controversy and conspiracy theories. They were all fueled by some of these comments. Your colleagues, and you feel offended when I refer to you as a colleague of Soundcrophone. I mean, those other ones now who pollute our airwaves, you know.
Upgraded DJs.
Yes, what you say? Me, if something as serious as the death of a public official, me my jumunanka bibieni ayenya butre. Let medical practitioners and medical officials whatever they decide to share with us, na via can answer. But you say the man was poisoned. What do you say? From near no my impression was that Obinadi poison good no. Say that it was normal food poisoning.
Yeah.
You have had food poisoning before.
Yeah.
I've had food poisoning before. It's a regular thing that happens. But the impression was created as if Obinadi poison good Yes, in a hotel and I think, sir, we need to be careful because the way we've been discussing this issue, everything will be business. Sure. What is here? Until I was expecting saying you bed to your book. But we started running to town with it. So being a poison or moon. After they started mentioning Crawford poison or moon. So it became like, hey, we're in an era of poisoning.
A trend being a
national poisoning party.
Wow, how? I mean, NPP has had this fair share of atrocities, but poisoning at the last check is not part of them. Maybe, but minyan hui.
And confirming is how.
No, my enemy came out correcting myself. Minyan hui. And I'm minyan tea.
Sir.
What has it? But I mean, as a corporate body, poisoning. Come on. What has it?
Bible says people are wicked men.
Every institution, and this may show some people who are poisoning this for their colleagues. But you cannot say because Obi would be according would disem until the tag the entire corporation. I don't think it's fair. And like I said, media are a wholesome. The fact that the person had food poisoning doesn't mean the person was poisoned through food. There is a difference.
There are two different things, and that is the distinction.
Yes.
I thought the media guys who were speaking about it should have drawn that distinction.
No, they were there spreading. No, the idea was to spread fear, monger fear in the system. No, and you see, and if they said say it was food poisoning, the regular food poisoning, say new.
Yeah.
The traction they were looking for, but they Obina poison. And they even went as far as saying Yenim Krofuno, like, no, no, Ebimuka say, why mind the way to tips in to go there are several. What must here? And these are not things that would do the memory of Yenriano any good. He lived a fairly good life, young as he might have been, but he lived a fairly good life. You know, in the days of the struggle, you know, in opposition, when you are in opposition, almost every other party that is in opposition becomes, you know, a partner.
And you know that the worry, they say because of the rumor, again, rumors are elevating to facts. Until now, I've seen document of his medical reports from hospitals in Germany.
No, he didn't go there because of being a poison. No?
Yes. No, but the medical reports, and America say because of the narrative that is out there, no.
Confidential medical reports would have to be
released, which is highly unfair.
We could, we could do a great deal of service to his memory by just
and I have, because strangely I have all those medical reports here.
And I make it one,
but it's not also proper beside the announcement.
No, there be.
Well, that is not our job. And I think complete misunderstanding of the job of who a journalist is.
No, you see, we need to start showing the distinction between journalists and upgraded DJs. No, then we know when an upgraded DJ is running his mouth. You just say he doesn't want to play songs anymore. Into your person then you can find it serious. Compared to be a serious journalistic juma. On not some lady juma and you know or can be say I can hold the person responsible. But Obia Sabi, there are no facts in what he's presenting. There's no format. If I shout the loudest, Ghana for BGA say me na make no correct. And unfortunately, there are some gullible individuals who just the louder you shout, the more believable you become. And they are the ones poisoning the space. What I say, and serious journalists are not even given similar opportunities to do a Juma boy. And to me, it's sad. And unfortunately, I would have wished the wife didn't speak, but she had to speak because of the Ekosiise. Don't go to baby boko. But the rumors kept going. One kasa anka ene yekasi ene ayekasi. I'm sure would have continued with sa rumor mongering. Say oh be na poison. But my mean be kasa And if I've had the privilege of listening to Bia, very close to the action.
Yeah.
And on the church, say, yes, I had been a poison man, if I know. Now it was food poisoning. And we've all had suffered it at one point or the other.
Symptoms of vomiting and diarrhea.
Yeah, food poisoning. What you did, the
last time,
exactly. And you're not what is it?
On your politician.
And the politician food poisoning, Penelope will be a poison. Hey,
full of bacteria.
And one of the upgraded DJs in his account, like I said, I didn't see Kumasi. What the thing happened in Tamale. And invited all of us to believe that nonsense.
If you are part 1 and 2.
Now, part 1, and just a bit Kumasi, all process. Yeah, person poisoning the You see, but as serious as ridiculous as it sounds, this is very important. Say ye nyabutre no be say ba ye ntu ye bo it does nobody any good to we a politician now just animate credit and now you want to fuel it. You are doing it at your own risk because you will catch on microphone and say it is easy to poison you. What I say and I don't think it's healthy for anybody. Now me like I said ye dia hon ni beta busuani china no omo ya ye nyina be kwa kobobi. Na nyamemfa ne currency here. Having said that, about Dumso, You see, Dumso the Ebu and
Obi said, Obi, I was really surprised and shocked when Prophet Dr. Kofi Udro stood in his church and said that the NPP has killed someone's son.
Who is that? When?
Oh, also cancer. I'm not sure.
Okay.
No, but someone Prophet Kofi Udro.
When?
Oh, they are tea.
Oh, no, Kike.
Oh, that was can he?
No, but he himself has admitted that. I listened to one of his stories. He said, you know, he was explaining how the grace of God found him, and Osei, no nisikal na the all he had was his shouts. And this team. I think I'm merely repeating what he himself admits.
Apparently, and that's according to the testers or Kase. Of course, maybe he also jumped onto the.
And that's what I'm saying. Until we make that distinction between DJs here, any journalist, you know. Yeah, a lot of people think Obia a journalist too. Anybody behind a console and a mic, a journalist.
So a journalist.
Mr. C, I do a journalist. What is here? Oh, if we don't make that distinction, no. Obia or T mic, any console, Tibia a journalist. What is here? And somebody like the Prophet might be tempted to think, say, no can hear no crack. Until, like I said, these conspiracy theories don't help anybody. But on the issue of them, so look, call it technical when them so need because what is them so? So light ye bedum na asaso na edum enyesa.
What came to be known as Dumsono was load shedding.
Me see Dumso came as
literal way.
There's no technical word called Dumso.
Oh, no, I say
it's a slang.
My words carefully.
Okay.
I say what came to be known as Dumsono was load shedding.
I disagree.
Okay.
My understanding of Dumso is ye dum light na asaso. Ye dum na asaso. Enu ni do na bi wo na ye twini. Dum so chese ye dum na aso. Ye dum na aso. Yes anete. Whatever the underlying causes are. The point is that ye dum na aso. Ye dum na aso. Whether the underlying causes inadequate fuel supply, lack of generation capacity, and inadequate generation capacity, and whatever the causes, the point is we are experiencing intermittent outages.
Yeah.
And that's what we are experiencing now. Now, MTA ECG boss, you know, I was like, look, he's just engaged in an exercise of semantics. So and yet dum so ne mum bien cable bibi na transformers bi na aye bi nam si we nyina adekro na. What is the net effect of the Ekosiise?
There are outages.
That's the point. And one of the explanations that I find a bit worrying and is Osei areas ni bi enyinyi
as in the cables.
No, like load consumption. Enyinyi inti consumption has increased. Esana it puts pressure on the transformers.
Yes.
Esana cuts beam.
Fact.
Fact.
No. If you are in the sector,
yeah, but
just
that's what is explaining what we are experiencing today. Cantonments. Tesano, these are old areas. So.
On Casa, you are not explaining way.
Me, but no, see areas ni being in, and I'm trying to say, Tesano for the experience, dumso. Maybe, Tesano for more expensive dumso. Nima more expensive dumso. Kokomlim, these are old areas.
Yeah.
Me, new development that has added more loads to
the explanation he sought to give. They say the regularity of the outages. It may be said you were off as a result of load shedding. But maybe power will be restored to your area. But now transformer are faulty. You still
so you admit, say, oh, okay, no, we said yes. You see, outages no.
Yes.
But AB, when it is time for you to be restored,
yes,
because of another fault,
sure, you can still.
So the agreement, the concession is indeed. Dumso.
No, but he admitted, say.
I didn't hear him admit.
No, he admitted, say, for a period, because of load shedding, generation shortfall, Ninti.
Oh, would you?
They had
no, this is the first time
but he made
this is the first time
in the interview I had with him on air.
No, I was in a studio where he was interviewed.
Yes.
Until now, me see semantics, because okay, say
yes,
we are not doing any load management. We are BBI Chifinchim, but the only problem, any Yamika we say some of the transformers are being
before
overloaded.
He made a point about the transformers, no, he spoke about a shortfall by as a result of BB, and he made.
Okay, so I like to be educated. What is the reason for the shortfall in generation?
In the shortfall, no, sena omo kase, and also kase, some of the plants no were down.
Why?
Plants.
No, maybe thermal plants nibi. Why?
Some of the plants were down because now omo routine maintenance time.
And you are not paying these people to generate routine maintenance time.
So, kase assignment or no kind, and I make catch.
And I'm interrogating that. And you are merely reporting. And I'm saying that this is not sustainable.
Okay.
Sir, is he telling me, sir, since 2017, is this the first time these IPPs and these plants are doing maintenance, routine maintenance?
But anytime some of them have gone down for maintenance,
we have more than enough. Our installed capacity is in excess. We have excess installed capacity.
As much as I can.
Don't look at installed available capacity.
No,
don't look at just.
So when others are going on maintenance, you have more than enough for others to generate. If you have more than enough installed capacity, and at any point in time, these are available capacity you have. If others are shutting down for maintenance, you have more than enough for them to also start.
Yes.
What was here?
Yes.
So there should not be
starting those ones.
There should not be any shortfall at any point in time because you have more than excess.
Exactly.
You have excess. What I say? We have more than enough.
And let's make these comments advisedly. In 2016. When the JM administration was leaving power, now we share a peak load demand, any generation capacity, it was excess.
Yes.
Almost 8 years now. Go and look at the figures. You say you need excess, baby, sir.
No, point for me.
There's excess.
No, but
I'm coming. You are actually even making my
the level. Ebema will comfort now. I can say, oh, when this is going down.
But all the plants shut down. Not all the plants are shut down.
This is the first time plants are shutting down for routine maintenance.
No.
Okay, and they were threatening to shut down because they were not being paid.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so if they are shutting down, let's not kid ourselves into saying that it is because of maintenance. Because from 2017, these plants, if they don't go on maintenance, they'll break. It's just like Uko Ghana gas. They also do maintenance pipes, and if they don't, the entire plant can shut down.
No,
but that doesn't mean
I just wanted to dispel the notion, say currently there was some excess baby. Your figures no don't look big,
which like reinforces my point.
So an excess,
and it actually reinforces my point that the reason you called Dumsomi in 2012 all the way to 2015, getting to the end of 2015, it was because we had disinvested in the sector for far too long.
Sure. Fact.
What I say, any idea could do on until when it was just unfortunate. But the NDC administration at the time was forced because of the phenomenon to start investing.
Yeah.
But they were not likely to reap the benefits of their investment.
Of course.
MPP buy, knowing very well you should have continued with the investment. But they just sat back to enjoy the benefits of the investments that were made prior.
And also at the time, if you look at the excess we had in 2016, yes, of course, I mean, planning should have told you, say, Energy Commission amount
the demand consumption at any point in time. You can
and you know how to stagger it.
Absolutely.
And add on. Because again, and now we need emergency situation. You can add on strategically.
You do it gradually.
The idea was excess not door so you know the usual.
I know. Yes, I know. But and that's the problem. But I think look, we may want to hide under the pretense maintenance. And then since 2017, these plants go on regular maintenance because if they don't, their entire plant can even shut down. Until every year, at regular intervals, they do maintenance. Intervals in the past, we're not experiencing we.
But when him say this whole IPP concept, is some. I'll forward an article to you.
Okay.
How commercial power companies are wreaking havoc in developing countries.
Yeah,
it's a very insightful read.
Oh, and I can tell you from experience.
Yes.
You see, once you deregulate, especially with electricity.
Yeah.
In the past, it used to be called national monopoly.
Sure.
One of the things that states were controlling.
Sure.
Then they decided, in the interest of capitalism, let's
But it was a World Bank at the
to unbundle exactly. until more investors would come in and so on.
Especially in the generation side.
Yeah. And the problems you have. And even Ghana, my suggestion is we shouldn't have just one distributor. We should not have one distributor.
Yeah, follow UK standard.
Exactly. I can choose which distributor I want to work with.
Yeah.
It brings about efficiency. But easy in himself, at the end of the day, you have nowhere else to go. But if you see, with the diversification, we diversified at the generation side, but the distribution end, we are still enjoying we are still suffering, not enjoying, suffering monopoly, which is a problem.
I agree with you, except to add, say, when we go full scale deregulation of the distribution side, also issues. But
it can be staggered. No, it can be.
But even as we speak, there is some form of deregulation in that space, and yet that massive. But when you go to Tema, some part of the industrial enclave, there is a company called Enclave Power.
Okay.
The distributed power to hold.
Oh, okay. All right.
There are some companies power directly from VRA and through ECG. And there is some form of deregulation.
And then that massive. Even Baco was one of them.
Yeah, no, Baco
initially Baco was one of them
because of the amount.
Of power and yet that massive. But of course, I mean, there are a lot of literature around about
how to
benefit
even
in deregulated distribution
from one half to the north. And some say netco.
And nobody a netco. Yeah, but also another state.
No, it's a state monopoly. What is it?
But I'll forward this article.
No, it will be an interesting read.
How commercial power companies are wreaking havoc in developing countries. It looks scary. So
it is indeed. Very scary. Things that used to be the monopoly of states. We decided to say, invite you.
And they are holding countries to
ransom. These are people who are driven by profit.
The writer took the Ghana example.
Okay.
And Okofa the Zambia example. It's scary. I'll forward it to you. Maybe next week we can get
that's right.
But the nuclear woman is this haste say publish doom so time to I think it's too early in the day to making such calls. But I am for any transparency in respect of the situation we are in.
What is happening?
Sikana IPP we are if the IPPs are old,
the price of for your body is not working now.
Oh, it is. No, it is. No, it's been you know my interest in the power sector.
I know.
In it from many JJD Nkomo, ECGM didn't crack confirm. And I don't think he will lie about that.
No, I don't think so. Yeah,
about the fact that Omoji Omusika, because one of the things he said, ECG more revenue mobilization drive and answer my market. It was just to rake in more money. He said because the cash waterfall system is so strict, say once the money hits. It was IPPs in the eco first, but of course there are some slips here and there.
They don't determine if he says it doesn't work, maybe to the extent that it works, but not.
I've done 1 or 2 checks also, and I can say, sir, from the information I gathered, and yesterday I said,
I agree.
Anything I can't think better.
Yeah, because we should.
Because again, Master, there's a can say a coward said now can say be a woman team Zabakasa.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, you see, we share some of
but if you have a system who almost $43 million every month.
Yeah.
Charlie, it's not easy.
No,
but I say, honorable boy Busa. No, I think honorable chief representative for the minority side.
For the minority, Agboja, yes.
Busa Bibi say, I didn't know ECG for Tenasiama. Ebi about 1 year, 6 months. We be honest, we
mobilization drive.
I didn't hear.
But I was saying, this MD put your mind in the regular.
This MD. I mean, what time is it?
So
with all the issues that I've just talked about, he's one MD I admire because look, issues in about revenue.
Yeah.
And
it's all revenue.
It's all revenue. And he's done so well.
I mean, in the core point of their work,
and in that regard, why
for revenue mobilization,
he's been
give it
superb.
To him. Yeah.
And I like, you see, on phone we are whether now we team go job parliament light there. Why can the master what is it? And he's not doing it because out of disrespect.
But
he has a mandate to
also from say I don't think ECG for no go try Parliament like on to most new questions say what's the Parliament for no way they were working no nice ECG for them.
It's that simple. All you know has a mandate into on that side. I drop my heart, you know. But the point is me, I am all for transparency. If there are challenges, you are not being paid. I mean, you are not being able to pay Sikana, SADMA, IPPs, and all others on the chain now. What has here?
Yes.
Maybe Eslabai was one of the reasons to support the sector, clear the legacy debt, and make sure that we don't accumulate, newer debt and so on. So if there are challenges, we need to know. And because one is there, we're improving the collection rate.
Sure.
Now it's 67%. It used not to be. And if at an increased collection rate, we still are having issues with revenue. We need to know what the underlying causes are. What is here? Me, I always believe in transparency. Then you get a buy-in. But if you want to be dodgy about it, then now with the all kinds of weak explanations, it becomes difficult for me to associate with your concerns. What must here? But who can credit train? Say na ekoso. Enunti na ye and it's all about revenue. We can all understand and begin to appreciate the steps we are taking, and maybe even exert some pressure on in Crawford. I say exert pressure on so that the right things are done. But if you are not open with us and you keep sounding politically correct, 2012 we could no longer be politically correct and save ourselves. Intermediate, that's all.
I think, Mate, that's it. Ekosiisen On Asempa FM. It's been great coming your way. Samuel Owusu Brako.
NDC parliamentary candidate for Achim Achianse.
Yes. Oh, Mejeneso pa Nyaminshrano. And actually, he is coming up against Ambassador, your friend is saying, South Africa Ambassador.
MPP Ambassador now.
Yeah. Oh, former Deputy Foreign Affairs Minister. That's all I have chance. Chance already any chance. Asante. Asante Eastern region. Chance. Chum. Chance already do honor here chance, right? A brim. Sorry.
So it's not
only a brim.
All right. So into one crown.
A chance. Wow, and we wish him well. We wish him very, very well. Ekosiisen On Asempa 94.7 FM.